The tread marks were still there when I got home. Two faint, parallel smudges on the concrete, like the car had left in a hurry rather than being taken. I didn't notice them right away. I noticed the absence first, the way you notice a missing tooth with your tongue before your eyes catch up. I'd bought that car alone. 5 years of overtime shifts, a decision made at 26 with no cosigner and no family money behind it. Because I wanted one thing in my life that nobody else had a claim to. I paid it off 11 months early. I remember calling my mother to tell her, expecting something like pride, and getting instead a kind of non-committal, "That's nice, honey." The tone she used for things that didn't concern her. Apparently it concerned her enough to have a spare key cut. I found this out over the phone, 3 days into a work trip, when I called to ask if anyone had seen my car. A formality, really, before I filed anything, because some small, stupid part of me still expected an explanation that would make sense. My mother's voice had the particular breeziness she reserves for conversations she's already decided are over. "Your brother needed something reliable for the new job. We thought you wouldn't mind." I asked when, exactly, I had indicated that I wouldn't mind. "Don't be like this," she said. "It's just a car. You have insurance, don't you? Share it. That's what family does." I want to say I argued. I didn't really. I've gone back over that call more times than I'd like to admit. And what strikes me now isn't her tone. I'd heard that tone my whole life. It's how quickly I stopped expecting anything different. There's a particular kind of tired that comes from realizing an argument was decided before you entered it. I hung up, sat on the edge of a hotel bed, in a city I don't remember the name of anymore, and did the only thing that felt like it belonged to me in that moment. I called the police non-emergency line and reported the vehicle stolen. I want to be honest about what that decision was, because I've had a long time to sit with it and I'm not going to dress it up as righteous. It wasn't a plan. It wasn't strategy. It was a factual statement. The car was mine. It was gone. I hadn't given permission. Filed the way you'd file any other true thing. What I didn't do, and what I've had to make peace with, is call my brother to warn him. I told myself I didn't know his schedule. That was true. It also wasn't the whole truth. He was on the interstate 2 hours later. I wasn't there for this part. I've pieced it together from what he told me weeks afterward, in a voice that still hadn't fully leveled out, and from the incident report I requested once things had settled. A trooper ran the plate during a routine speed check. The system flagged it. Backup was called before he'd even pulled over, because that's protocol when a report says stolen and the driver won't be expecting confirmation of anything. He told me it happened fast. 2 vehicles, lights, a voice through a loudspeaker telling him to show his hands, then step out, then get on the ground. And somewhere in there, the specific and ordinary horror of watching someone else's hand rest near a holster, because a system built to be blunt was doing exactly what it was designed to do. He said the asphalt was hot. He said he kept trying to explain it was a misunderstanding. And nobody was interested in his explanation, because misunderstandings don't de-escalate a stolen vehicle report in real time. They ran his ID, cross-checked the registration, made some calls. It took, he said, almost 40 minutes to sort out. 40 minutes is a long time to lie on hot pavement, wondering if your family's version of Cher is about to get you shot. I didn't feel triumphant when he told me this. I want to be clear about that, because it would be easier if I could say I did. Easier to justify. Easier to file away as a lesson delivered on schedule. What I actually felt was something closer to nausea, followed by a colder, steadier recognition that I hadn't done anything wrong. Those two feelings didn't cancel each other out. They just sat next to each other, uncomfortably, the way true things sometimes do. My mother called that night, furious in a way I'd never heard from her. Not about the guns, not about her son on the ground, but about the fact that I'd let it go that far. She said I could have just called someone directly, handled it privately, kept it in the family. I asked her what, exactly, she thought in the family had meant when she handed my brother a key she had no right to cut. She didn't answer that. She still never answered that. The car came back 3 days later, towed from an impound lot. A police receipt still sitting in the cup holder where he must have shoved it without thinking. I kept it there for longer than made sense. Some kind of paperweight for the part of me that needed proof this had actually happened, that I hadn't invented the whole shape of it out of resentment. My brother is quieter around me now. Not cold, exactly. More careful, the way you're careful around a fact you've had to update. I don't know if it's resentment or something closer to respect, and I've stopped trying to guess which one I'd prefer. Both seem honest in their own way. My parents never apologized in any form I'd recognize as one. My mother mentioned it once, months later, in passing, framed as a story about how things got out of hand, passive, weather-like, nobody's fault in particular. I didn't correct her. I've found there's a certain relief in not needing her to understand it the way I do. What I kept, in the end, wasn't triumph. It was something quieter and less satisfying. The plain, undramatic fact that ownership isn't actually up for renegotiation, just because someone frames the alternative as generosity. The garage still empties out sometimes when I visit, old habit, glancing at the spot before I remember the car's mine and staying put. I don't know if that instinct ever fully goes away. I've decided I don't need it to.